Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'm going to be reacting to Todd Snider for the very first time. In fact, in this reaction, we're going to be checking out the entirety of his second set performance all the way back in 2014 at the Buzzkirk Chumley Theater. This is a venue that I've actually attended once or twice before, so I'm familiar with its layout. It's a rather intimate area with risers up top. So there's like a balcony section and a bottom section. It's a nice venue, very quaint. So as I give this reaction, I'm going to kind of envision myself being back there. But like I said, this is my very first time hearing Todd Snider. I never knew his name before getting this generous request from Gila. So I had to do a bit of cursory research to figure out just a little bit about Todd. So what I have here is written, Todd Snider is an American singer-songwriter known for blending folk, rock, and country with sharp storytelling and a great sense of humor. His songs often feel like stories, funny, heartfelt, and sometimes biting, and he's built a reputation as a kind of modern-day troubadour who says exactly what's on his mind. So that definitely has me intrigued. I love genre blending. I love storytelling. If you haven't seen any of my reactions before, that's information for you that's new. If you're a longtime subscriber, you probably know that I love the genre blending, the storytelling, the funny, the heartfelt, all of that good stuff and more. So I'm super excited to check this out today. But before we do, a special thank you has to go to Gila the Caring for making this generous donation request and the selection today. As always, Gila, it is much appreciated. But now, let's jump in.
B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. All you need is a 10 and a 5-er, car key and a sober driver.
Why am I loosely reminded of John Prine?
A couple of frat guys from Abilene drove out all night to see Robert Earl Keen at the K-Pig Swine and Soiree dance. They wore baseball caps and khaki pants.
Oh, he's very descriptive.
They wanted cigarettes, so to save some money, they got one off these hippies that smelled kind of funny. And the next thing they knew, they were both really hungry and pretty thirsty too. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run.
B-double-E-double-R.
All you need is a 10 and a 5-er, car, a key, and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. Found a store with the sign, said their beer was coldest. Sent in Brad, cause he looked the oldest. Got a case of beer and a candy bar. Walked over to where them registers are. He laid his fake ID on the countertop. The clerk looked and he turned and he looked back up and he stopped and he said, kid, I'm not gonna call the cops, but I gotta keep your card,
Right.
Keep your card.
But see, what they don't tell you is that some counties, some municipalities, they take your card and then they prosecute after the fact. Don't ask me why I know.
Guys still took it pretty hard though. They took it hard. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. All you need is a 10 and a 5-er, a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. Met this other old hippie named Sleepy John.
This is a lot of
He
fun.
said he was the one from the Robert Earl song. So they gave him their cash and he bought him some brews. It was a beautiful day out in Santa Cruz. They were feeling so good, should have been a crime. Crowd was cool and the band was prime. They made it back up front to their seats just in time to sing with all of their friends. Y'all Robert Earl fan, tell me, the road goes on forever and the party never ends.
I think one thing that I just need to say up front, because otherwise I'm going to be holding it back for too long, it is remarkably hard to play acoustic guitar with all of the finger style that he's doing in collaboration with his vocals. I mean, he's kind of doing this like speechy, sing-songy hybrid. So it's like he's singing notes on pitch, but he's also kind of saying them to a specific cadence. Either way, you're having to manage multiple polyrhythms, one in the acoustic playing, maintaining that rhythm so you don't, sputter out of control there, and then also map that onto the lyrics very, very cleanly. And these are very verbose, lyrics so far. So he's saying a lot, so he has to also maintain this level of endurance throughout, presumably. But we'll keep it going. Just wanted to say that up front now, because otherwise, we're going to just say it a bunch of times later.
Well, wait a second, though. Before I'll do the chorus eventually, I promise.
Oh, you're just stopping to talk.
Lately, I've been stopping in this song because this song, sometimes people will say to me, I bet you get sick of playing that one, Right, this is my favorite one. You spell beer, you spell run.
Right.
Instead of the tune, you get a line and I'll get a pole, baby. Fuck, what's not to like? What's not to like? Shit, I sang this twice already today just for my own pleasure.
As you should.
Sometimes in the lobby at the hotel, they have that continental breakfast. I'll go down there and just dazzle the folks with it, man. They'll be like, who was that guy? The beer run guy.
Yeah, the beer run guy.
I don't give a shit. I'll tell you something else, man.
I like his voice.
I just ain't designed to make up a song.
Wonder where his accent's from.
And then see them again and have them say, would you play that song again that you sang for me last time? And I would say, no, I don't do that one anymore. Jesus. Not a folk Nazi. No, I'm an old timer.
Age like wine.
An old timer. It's too late for me to die young now. I'm an old timer, I'm just a file and dimer, trying to find a way to age like wine somehow.
I want to look up where his accent is from. Where is Todd Snider from? Portland, Oregon. Why does he sort of sound a bit country? Granted, I haven't met all that many people from Oregon. But they didn't sound like this, that's for sure.
New stuff is nothing like my old stuff was. And neither one is much when you compare it to the show, which is not going to be as good as that show you saw that made you bring your friend to this show. So help me God, I know, I'm an old timer,
I like these little jokes throughout. It's a bit of stand-up at the same time. Well, sitting down, but you get my point.
I met every fool that ever signed their name up on the wall, in the backs of all these beer joints and these concert halls. I've been through 7 managers, 5 labels, 1,000 picks and patch cables, 3 vans, a band, a bunch of guitar stands, cans and cans and cans of beer and bottles of booze and bags of pot and 1,000 other drugs that I forgot. I thought that I would be dead by now, but I'm not. B-double-E-double-R-U-M.
Brings it back. I was gonna ask earlier, I'm like, did he complete Beer Run? Because he said he stopped it and then he just started Age Like Wine. I'm glad we have the sandwich, both ends.
All you need is a 10 and 5 car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-M. Beer Run. You get a line, I get bow, honey. You get a line.
It's very relaxing to listen to.
We'll go down to the fishing hole. B-double-E-double-R-U-M.
It's like I'm in engrossed in his storytelling, his jokes, his speech, and to like maintain the engagement of everybody in that theater, but with just one man and his guitar sitting down. He must have the special sauce.
That's a peach. Yeah. My buddy, the Chicago Farmer's playing around the corner after this. I'm gonna go down there and play that song a couple more times. if you wanna. Here's another one I'm gonna do.
Talking Seattle grunge rock blues. Seattle grunge rock blues. What a subgenre of a subgenre.
Hey, hey, my, rock and roll will never die. Hang your hair down in your eye, make $1 million. Well, I was in this band going nowhere fast. We sent out our demo, but everyone passed. So one day we finally took the plunge, went out to Seattle and started playing grunge. Washington State.
Why is that the
Space
plunge? Right, give me all of the...
Eddie Vedder.
Tell me about Pearl Jam. Tell me about the apples they produce over there, all the Seattle stuff, all the Washington stuff.
Now to fit in on the Seattle scene, you had to show people something they had never seen. So thinking up a gimmick one day, we decided to be the only band that would not even play a note. Under any circumstances, we called it silence. Music's original alternative.
Right.
Roots grunge.
I don't think enough people in the audience appreciated that little passing joke.
Circumstances, we called it silence. Music's original alternative.
Yeah, music's original alternative, silence. Love that.
Roots grunge. We spread the word through the underground that we were the hottest new young band in town. A record guy come out to see us one day, and just like always, we refused to play a note under any circumstances.
God, his playing is really fluid. I've been watching his fingers.
We just filmed ourselves smashing stuff. It's kind of weird because there was no music, but MTV said that they would love to use it. The kids went wild. The kids went nuts. Rolling Stone gave us 5 stars, said we played with guts. We were meeting chicks and taking drugs. They asked us to do MTV Unplugged. Man, you should have seen it. We went right out there and refused to do acoustical versions of the electrical songs that we had refused to record in the first place. Then we smashed our shit.
That is just pure anarchy.
Hey, hey, my, rock and roll will never die. Hang your hair down in your eye, make $1 million.
It's like I didn't want to be here for real at any point. At every step of the way, I did not want to be here.
Well, our band got fired, and that's not funny, because now we're hooked on drugs, but we're out of money. So the other day I called up the band. I said, guys...
It's sort of like anti-humor. There's a joke that I used to use a lot of the time. It was like, you know, I may not be the smartest person in the world, but at least how would it go? I need to get the delivery right. I may not be the smartest in the world, but I'm also not the funniest either, or the richest, or have anything good going for me. It's like you just keep stacking on the self-deprecation when you would imagine somebody would actually paint the other part of the statement in a positive light. It's the anti-joke. You just live in it. You double down, you triple down, you quadruple down.
I've taken all I can. I'll shave off my goatee, pack the van.
Or meta-irony, that's a fun one.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, he's been finger styling it all. No pick.
Hey, hey, my, rock and roll will never die. Hang your head down in your eye, make $1 million. Well, I set my monkey on a log. I ordered him to do the dog. He shook his tail, he wagged his head. Went over and did our cat instead. He's a weird monkey. Very funky. I like to throw that in just in case some of you kids don't think I know which Bob Dylan song this came from.
We did one Bob Dylan reaction recently. That was my first time hearing Bob. I have a lot of music education to catch up on, that's for sure. I don't know this reference to Bob here specifically.
A very wise man once said that some people could rob you with a fountain pen. It
Wow.
don't take too long to figure out just what that old man was talking about. You know, a lot of people don't have a lot of food on their table these days, but they still got them forks and them knives.
Wow, that's
They're gonna want to cut something.
very quickly profound.
Look out.
Wow. They still have their forks and knives and they still want to eat, right? That was so quick. I love that.
I want to cut something.
Yeah.
Look out.
Yeah, wow.
I like to throw that verse in just in case some of you old timers think I don't know which Woody Guthrie song Bob Dylan got this song.
I need to listen to more Woody Guthrie too. I've never heard his music. Because I know Guthrie Govan, I believe that's a guitarist, but not Woody Guthrie. Bro is killing it. Bro is killing it. Really, his guitar playing is like cleanly in the
one time
folk.
I got to see it. I was in a bar
folk
in
genre.
LA because of that song. I didn't want to do a video for that song. I was like 28. I thought videos were dumb. It was 94. But I was going to get talked into it. And so I got to fly to LA, got put up in a hotel.
How old is
told whatever
Todd?
kind
I'm
of mess
looking.
I wanted to make of myself in the bar. And I could, you know. And so I did. Or like, the meeting was at like noon.
58.
So I went down there at about 10 in the morning to get, you know, my meeting face on. Business meeting, you know. I'm not good at that part of it. I like to buy stuff, but I don't know how to manage any other bits. But anyway, so I go into this hotel.
He sort of reminds me a bit of Dave Matthews, the way that Dave goes about storytelling. I I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like the way he tells it is a sort of like in a disconnected cadence, similar to Dave. Not in the I think quality of their voices, but more so in the rhythm of their storytelling.
And in the bar, it's just a divey place, really dark. And when I go in, no shit, there's no one in there except for this waitress. And then at the side of the bar, Slash from no fucking joke, from Guns N' Roses.
That's wild.
So clearly, obviously him. Another day drinker, having a vodka. Smoking Marbreds, man, I always admire some guys. Like, I don't just want to smoke, I'm smoking the fucking hardest one there is. I don't want to fuck around. So he's got the Reds. Check this out. Check out this hat, silk kind of rock hat, says Metallica on it. Big fucking shiny Jim Morrison shades, right? Got some shit in his nose. Got some shit on his ears. All kinds of bedazzlements. And then on his chain, he's made fucking Mr. T look like a lunch money pimp on the neck. Just fucking all kinds of shit. Concho shit, chains, friendship, any kind of fucking thing you could have. Rope, hemp, all of it. Dangling.
More so than even the music right now, I just appreciate his vibe. I just love that he's so relaxed, he's so fluid, he just speaks his mind. We need more of that just in the world. Maybe specifically from artists, but people in general just talking, you know?
From his neck, and then no shit, both wrists was pretty much outfitted the same way, man. All kinds of shit, like up to here probably. Like it had to take some time to do.
Dripped up, dripped out.
Friendship, concho, all that bullshit around this thing. And then, no, I'm not fucking you now. No shoes, and the same shit ankles. All kinds of bullshit. Leather, straps,
how does he get
silver,
ready in the
gold,
morning?
Fuck it, everything.
It's like a
It's
7-hour
rapper's
routine
ankle.
to get it all on.
And I guess that's an anklet, right? It's an anklet, I guess. And then, I guess it was almost the creme de la creme for me was, I guess this would be called a waistlet, right? All the same shit,
I'm just now noticing
man.
the banjo behind him.
You know, all kinds of shit around his waist. Here's my main favorite part. you know those shorts that Richard Simmons, remember that guy? The exercise guy with the afro? And he wears those silky shorts that, you know, you're either him or you know, you got them shorts on, man, you know? The fuck are you doing? You know?
Richard Simmons?
And so,
let me look this up. Richard Simmons shorts. This is what I'm seeing right here. I'll pull it up on images. Oh my god. Yeah. It's this is purely for Richard. I don't want to wear anything like this.
that's what he's got on. Those. And nothing fucking else.
Right.
Nothing, no shirt.
That's
Why?
insane.
Slash. Fuck you. I'm Slash.
That is insane.
No shirt, no shoes, my ass.
That is the most
Play
insane
lead
outfit
guitar,
description
Guns N'
ever.
Roses. You might have heard of me. And he was sitting over
More
there.
power to him.
And he was smoking his cig and drinking, and I didn't want to bug him. And it was clear that he wasn't trying to not look like Slash, but I still thought, don't bug that guy, man. He's probably over there writing some jams in his mind or some shit. So I just sat there for about an hour and a half, just me and him, just sitting there quiet.
An hour and a half?
This lady'd come over and resplenting our drinks and smoke cigs and drinking, and then when I got up, it was time for me to go, and I paid my tab, and I got up to go to the meeting, and he said, the first time we even acknowledged each other, he looked up and went, "Take it easy, man." Yeah. And I did, too. I totally did.
Yeah, Slash is just a chill
Still
dude.
do. I have since.
And Todd.
Since then. Before then, I was taking it moderate to medium. And then after that, easy. Like it's like going downhill all the time, man.
I like it. Todd and Slash are both chill dudes, certified. I need to listen to more Guns N' Roses just in general.
5 out of fucking 5 people like Slash.
Like 5 out of 5 dentists. It's always that one dentist, though, right?
One out of every.
What are the chances, bro? I mean, that is like the most common reference, but like, come on, that's kind of cool.
5 dentists for
My
the
brain
last 25
just
years. 1 out of every 5 dentists is clearly disagreeable in every dentist toothpaste test.
Oh my gosh, that's
They
so
gotta
crazy.
they gotta figure that fucking guy out. Well, 4 out of 5 dentists have been preferring shit for fucking ever, man. Fucking figure out how to impress that 5th guy or leave me alone. Or to get him checked into. A guy can't, why is he doing this? He hates toothpaste. Anyway, you know why I went up on that? It's because I was going to do this. They say that 3% of people.
Wow. I was literally about to have a bit of the discussion about why the 4 out of 5 is so prevalent in the way that information about toothpaste is all marketed and presented to the public, or the 9 out of 10 dentists agree, 1 out of 10 doesn't agree. It's all about the reframing of statistics to better, market one's product. But the thing is, a lot of these clinical studies, they come from different sources. So technically, it could be 9 corporate-funded studies, and then 9 dentists are in agreement for that product. But the one actually academically funded research on that same product is the one disagreeer. But on the surface, that 90% looks tremendous. Most people agree, but most people with the very distinct bias towards that product agree. That doesn't really tell you anything verifiable about that product, because there's a baked-in bias in studies like that. You can find examples of this all over, from cigarette industry to the fast food industry to sodas, toothpaste, all this crazy stuff. There's statistical, how can I say, statistics are a tool, and they can definitely be used to convince people of pretty much anything.
Do this. They say that 3% of people.
We have to make ourselves more literate in this regard.
Is 5 to 6% of their brain, 97% use just 3%, and the rest goes down the drain.
50% of the time, I'm 100% right.
I'll never know which one I am, but I bet you my last dime. 99% think we're 3%, 100% of the time.
Oh my god, it's like me and Todd, dude. Me and Todd right here, brains connecting.
They say 60% of all the world's statistics are made up right there on the spot.
Right.
82.4% of people will believe them whether they're accurate statistics or not.
Or what they're
Now,
meant to represent.
I don't know what you believe, but I do know there's no doubt. I'll need another double shot of something 9 to prove I got too much to think about. Too much.
I could go on and on about all of the ways statistics are used and abused by people one way or the other to convince you of something when it's a total either fabrication or misrepresentation. It's very unfortunate. Even if the statistics are true, they're being used in an unfair, deceptive way.
They say 70% of everything you learn in college is bullshit you're not going to need. 84.7% of everything you bought, you got it just to satisfy your greed.
Whoa, look here at his shoulder. It's like so far forward. I don't know, this like angle almost looks like it's dislocated.
Cause you know that 90% of this world's population will link your possessions to your success. Even though 99% of the wealthiest 1% of this population drinks to an alarming excess.
Wow.
More money, more stress, I guess it's
random knowledge
too
bombs
much to think
out of
about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, oh, there's too much to think about.
You know, as I listen to this too, I'm reminded of George Carlin. I don't know if I'm supposed to be reminded of George Carlin here, but I loved him. I loved his stand-up. Whatever I found on YouTube from George was really fun, really profound.
They say 70% of all statisticians truly hate their fucking job. The average bank robber lives within, say, 20 miles of the bank that he robbed.
That's fair.
There's this little bank not so far from here. I've been watching it now for a while. Seems like lately all that I can think about is how bad I want to go out in style. It's too much to think about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, oh, it's too much to think about. Too much to think
I'm so
about.
hooked on his lyrics.
Too much to think about.
I like that. This is a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing this with me, Gila. We've got a ways to go with this. I wonder what directions he's going to take this performance. Stuck on the corner.
They named that goddamn kiss-ass Handelman Vice President of Human Resources or something. He stood up and made a speech about how we were all gonna have to work even harder now. I thought, hard now, harder at what? I would give anything to get up and walk out of here, but I'm stuck on the corner of sanity and madness.
Oh, wow.
Looking them over, can't see a difference. Making money out of paper, paper out of trees. Making so much money we can hardly breathe. You ought to hear the shit that I get from my daughter. She says she can't stand the sight of the car I bought her. Gonna ruin her life forever. She don't ride no ragtime. Her and her mother spend my money pretty much non-stop. They're trying to break me for the sake of our neighborhood. They need everybody up and down our street to think we're doing good. We're stuck on the corner. Sanity and madness.
Wow.
Looking them over, I can't see no difference.
I love the percussion feel in this. He's hitting that low E.
Out of trees, making so much money we can hardly breathe. I didn't even want to study economics. My parents made me cause they said it would be practical. I can't make
Oh, there goes my camera. Parents making you study stuff and get educated. So relatable.
my kid do a goddamn thing I tell him to. That kid's an unrepentant radical. He is as unimpressed by these plaques in my cubicle as I am secretly impressed with his ability to look at everything so completely irresponsibly. I'm stuck on the corner of sanity and madness.
It feels like so much of what he's like recounting is just literally coming from his life. I honestly don't even know how you could write such relatable music if it wasn't just straight up excerpts from his existence. If he's not, I guess he really has a good read on what people are up to anyways, but it seems like these are all real.
Can't see no difference. They're making money out of paper, paper out of trees. Making so much money we can hardly breathe.
Yeah. Nice.
Heart out, Trey Anastasio.
Nice.
Now I got to call that little pecker Mr.
I'm glad he let the melody ride for a little bit.
From work as mad as I'd ever been, and then I nearly jerked that kid out of a drive-through window. He said, "Will that be everything?" I said, "What would you know? You're looking at a man about to buy his kid a rag top. What are you driving? A bicycle, you little punk? I'm stuck on the corner of sanity and madness. Looking them over, can't see no difference. Making money out of paper, paper out of trees. Making so much money we can hardly breathe. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Making money out of paper, paper out of trees. Making so much money we can hardly breathe.
Oh. Momentary falsetto there. He's showing his chops a little bit more throughout these, in the guitar playing, in his vocals. I like it. I like this concert. It's a very just relaxed vibe. Ballad of the Devil's Backbone Tavern.
I've been playing this song since I was a young guy, man. I made it up on the floor of a girl's dorm in Memphis, Tennessee. I wasn't in college. I made it up about a town just outside of Luckenbach, Texas. Luckenbach is a famous place to go, mainly because of a guy named Jerry Jeff Walker. Jerry Jeff Walker wrote a song called Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles.
And then he started making his records in Luckenbach.
I've heard that before.
And it became this magic place. It was a town that didn't make it. And so
I've heard of
somewhere
Mr.
around
Bojangles
72,
before.
it was put up for sale in a paper. Some guy fucking bought it. Had a beer hall, post office, house. It was like 5 things. Beautiful place. And Jerry Jeff used to just sit around there all day. And when they realized they couldn't get him out of there to make a record, they took all the recording shit there. Made a good record, man. Anyway, I've been obsessed with that guy too for a long time. This song was inspired by the time I was trying to get a show at Luckenbach because he played there so much. And it was a hard gig to get. And on the day that I finally had it, I was driving out to Luckenbach with my friends to play it and hadn't thought it through far enough to realize that it's a famous town, so people take the signs that are headed to it. You're fucked once you get out in the desert, man. So we pulled off the Devil's Backbone Highway into this place called the Devil's Backbone Tavern. Old Mrs. Burgess, she tended bar, had a shack out in the hill. It never paid her no money, boy, but it sure paid up all of her bills. She must have been about 80 years old. Her heart was warm and her beer was cold. She'd be giving away more than she sold, smiling all the time. I used to sing off in the corner. It's like every Friday night. There'd be this loud crowd of cowboys. There'd be bikers and barroom fights. They'd be drinking beer and they'd be carrying on, and no one would be listening to any of my songs. But old Miss Burgess, she'd be singing along. She said she knew them all by heart. And then one night after closing the place, she poured me a beer. She said, come over here and sit down, you little shit. I got something that you need to hear. She said, life isn't easy getting through. Everybody gonna try to make it tougher on you. I will tell you right now, if you dig what you do, no one will ever get you down. Life is too short to worry, she says. Life is too long to wait. Too short not to love everybody. Life is too long to hate. I meet a lot of men that haggle and finagle all the time, trying to save a nickel, maybe make a dime. Said, not me. Lord knows, sweet Lord, I ain't got the time. I do this great guitar solo too during this. I mean, not to break my arm, pat myself on the back, but I mean, check it out.
Like the way he's just able to talk and play and not break his rhythm at all. That's what I was mentioning towards the very beginning here. It's so infinitely impressive to me. I think if it's okay with you, I will probably compliment that part of his ability maybe every, where are we at, 36 minutes? Every 36 minutes I'll try to. Any more frequent, I know it'll be overkill.
Not a lot of guys can do that.
Wait, I missed this. Hold on. He stood up.
Check it out. I know.
I was like, did he do something crazy?
Not a lot of guys can do that. Not even legal in most states, man.
Right. Can't do it after 8 p.m.
I only put that in there because there was this one guy. I just started singing, and everybody was really being encouraging. And this guy, he was at all the shows, but he never said shit all. And then the last time I played there, he came walking up and said, I've been watching you a long time now. And I was like, thanks, man. And he's like, oh, don't thank me. I think you suck. I'm like, well, then why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here?
This is the only bar within fucking a million miles. Why do you think everyone's here? Jesus.
That's mean.
And then, I got when he said I sucked. I totally got what he meant. But he wanted to, go expand and go on and explain. So he did that. That was kind of discouraging.
Right.
But I didn't give a shit because I was trying to be Jerry Jeff Walker, man. And so when I made up this song, I put this in for
Gotta
that
have thick skin in the online world and the public-facing world.
The thing he disliked about me the most was that all my chords was up here. He said, you never do any of that kick-ass widdly shit. That's why I put that in there.
You gotta add that note.
Now I do.
Right. Flexing on the haters.
But then, man, I got, I would say I was about 21, 22, something like that. And at that time, I had just moved to Austin from Oregon. And
Austin, he was there for a while. Maybe that's part of his accent.
I had a guitar. I saw Jerry Jeff play one time. Saw that. I thought, I could probably
Jeff
fucking
Walker.
do that. Went to the guitar store, got one, started playing like 12 hours a day, going to all of his shows, and learning to play guitar from watching him play. And because he doesn't go crazy, he just has a good time. So eventually, I started writing these letters that I was going to give him, introduce myself, and be like, I'm your lost son, kind of, in a weird way. Because he was always singing about being a total fuck-up, like it was great, I'm like, this is my guy.
I never heard of Jerry
Because at
Jeff.
the time I was always bumming a ride and bumming a sofa and just bumming something. And this guy was making it sound so glorious. And as I was watching it, I realized in this moment, as I was watching him, there's like the difference between a freeloader and a free spirit, about 3 chords, really.
3 chords.
And so, as soon as I got a guitar, man, and started playing,
You learned those 3.
nothing mattered anymore. Money don't fucking matter.
G,
I don't need a
A,
boat.
C.
Y'all want to go on a boat? Shit, I know a bunch of Buffett
there's a
shit.
bunch you can
I'll go
learn
down
too
to
past
Marina.
that.
Well, I'll be on a boat by 7, drinking their shit.
How about E,
But,
E minor, F, D, D minor, C?
But I was always just enchanted by this Jerry Jeff because he was just living, not just singing these songs, but he was living this life too that seemed exciting to me. He didn't really have breaks. So I followed him around, kept trying to meet him, then chickening out. Then I moved to Memphis and I started playing down there. And he was coming to town to play this thing called the New Daisy Theater. And I called the guy that owned it, and I knew him, and I asked him if I could get some tickets, and he said that I could open the show.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought, this is it.
That's
I'm
amazing.
meeting this guy, And I made a big plan for what I was gonna say. Had it ready, I practiced it a few times. And then I get to the gig, it was my turn to play. I thought I did pretty good. Everybody clapped at the end. And then I went back into the dressing room. Fucking there he was, man. I mean, just close as all hell. And I was scared, but I was also excited. And there was this girl that was with him, and she was yelling at him. She was mad at him, and he looked like he was afraid of her. And then the closer I listened to the things she was yelling at him that she liked him and loved his music and had been listening to it for a long time. And then it occurred to me that she had snuck in there and that he didn't know her and that she was just yelling at him. She didn't mean to be yelling at him the way that she was. She just was. And he was
That's
kinda
uncomfortable,
terrified.
though. You don't know who that person is.
Because it didn't look like she was saying nice things. It just, if you had to listen and get the words to know that she was being nice.
It's the demeanor was coming off aggressive.
Then she saw me and says, oh, oh, you sang too. Here, sign my poster. That's exactly what she sounded like. And then she says, you sang too, sign my poster. Jerry Jeff, turn around. And he kind of turned around before he knew what to do, and she stuck the poster up on his back and handed me this pin.
She is so out of pocket.
In all the different ways that I had imagined meeting this fucking guy, this chick was in none of those scenarios.
He's getting victimized by this
and
super
she was
fan.
fucking it up.
But she's going crazy, yeah.
But I panicked and went right into my speech and said,
Oh, it's chaos.
this is the highlight of my life, Mr. Walker.
No.
And I think he mistook
No.
meeting him as what I meant. I think he thought signing the autograph might have been what I was talking about.
Miscommunication.
And so he said, pretty boring life so far, kid. And I took that personally.
Right. That hurts from
I started, turning
your
up
inspo.
the juice a little bit. And then about 2 years later, I was wondering if he'd remember that or not, And then like 2 years later, I got to make an album, which meant I got to have an agent and tour and all that shit. So I told the guy, hey man, if you can get me on some festival with Jerry Jeff Walker, I would love another shot at meeting this guy. And I'm kind of hoping he doesn't remember the first one. And so I get to this festival that we're on together, and I think, I don't want to fuck it up this time. So as soon as I see him, I just run over there, and I grabbed him, and I hugged him really hard, and I told him he was like a king to me. And he looked at me like he'd been looking at that girl. And I thought, oh, yeah, I'm Todd. I'm on the bill, too. I didn't think it through, like,
Gotta
just 'cause
intro
you're
yourself
on a bill with
first.
a guy doesn't mean you can kind of tackle him in a grassy area and be like, it's cool, we're both on the bill. But that's what happened. And then I said, man, I know everything about you. I know all your songs. I know everything. And I could tell he was half happy and half, okay, well, where's security, And then he said, I doubt very seriously have all that shit. But I did. And then we started to get to be friends. And he remembered me too when he saw me and said, boring life. And
Oh, wow.
so far. And I was like, wow, it's picking up. Then, now, one of my favorite things is he will call me, or like, we're friends. And I'm not shitting you, on more than one occasion, I have crushed the guy in Jerry Jeff Walker trivia contests in front of witnesses. And he'll
That's
call
so
me.
funny. He knows more about JJW than JJW himself does. Sometimes that will be the case too, even on my channel, which is such a surprise because I do so many reactions to different artists and I share different things about my life and whatever. And then people, like, months after I've done a certain reaction or mentioned a certain fact, bring up this very specific moment about my life and specific thing that I may have said or experienced. I'm like, wow, how do you have that level of recall of something that I did and said so many weeks and months ago? That is so impressive. And also, like, maybe you should be using your powers for, like, I don't know, a number of things that could, like, get you really paid for having such a good memory, because that is so impressive.
Me sometimes in the hotel and say, I want to do something tonight, some old song, and he knows I'll know the words, which makes me so happy. And then
It's like, I forget what I do in my life sometimes.
He asked me one time if I wanted to go to Belize with him, because he's going to take me snorkeling. He said, I wouldn't believe all the colors and all the beauty under there. And I was like, all right, So we go all the way down there, and we get in a boat, and I go out with him, and he talks to some guy. Then he tells me to put on the mask, fall over the boat, open your eyes. It's going to be beautiful. Well, it was not. There was no coral at all. It was just sharks. And I don't mean like a couple of them either. I mean a fuck ton of them.
Like great whites? What we got?
Ton.
What we rocking?
And no shit, like some kind of like, what's the odds? Stingrays too. Everywhere.
It's a war zone.
Everywhere. Like, it was like, it was like, I didn't understand, so I jumped up out of the water screaming. He's laughing his ass off. This is his idea of fucking hilarious. Been planning this for months, man. And then he says, swim at them. I'm like, what? Fuck, because they're between me and the boat now. It's just swim at them, they're like ducks. No, they're not like ducks, At all, at all. But then I got out of the boat, and then I was mad at him.
Right.
Which is why
That's
I guess
so
I want
scary.
to tell you this next bit. Watch this. Check this out now. I'm going to roll now. Don't stop me.
Is he gonna punch him?
I was in New Orleans 2 years later, maybe, right?
French
On tour.
Quarter.
And in those days, I used to carry around this tackle box that I would keep all the drugs that people would give me. Because you're in a band or you travel around, still, man, people give me drugs all the time. Fuck, who am I kidding? I still have the tackle box. But the thing is, you can't take them all at the same time, and you don't want to be rude, hence the tackle box,
You just put it in the box.
Sometimes people give me shit I don't even like, but I don't know that I'm not going to run into somebody later that does like that, hence the tackle box.
Man of the people.
And so Jerry Jeff always thought that was hilarious.
This is a
that I
lot
had
of fun.
Tackle box, and he always pretty raced right to it when he saw me, And so he comes backstage in New Orleans, and he opened up the box, and there's this rare. And my generation didn't get into cocaine as much as they did in the '70s when they thought it was good for them. And Jerry Jeff, I know they used to call him Mr. Bojangles, and the stories just go on and on, So he says to me, oh man, oh goddamn, that stuff's terrible. And I was like, yeah, I don't like that either. And then he said, well, boy, I used to roar on that shit down here in New Orleans in the '70s. And then just my good friend went out the window, and all I could think about was roaring with Jerry Jeff in New Orleans, and it's gonna be like the '70s, we're gonna do blow. I talk him into it. We go back to his house. Now this part of the story, they told me, okay? Because I heard the next day everyone was like, dude, this is what you did.
That's funny.
You know how you catch a fish and it lands in the boat and starts fucking around, It flips around. I did that on their coffee table, you know? And I was throwing up, and I don't do that drug very much, you know? And it fucking did too much of it, I guess. Flipping around on their table, throwing up all over his nice place. They said he takes and puts me in the shower and hoses me off. And then everybody, I guess him and a couple other guys went into the night while his wife stayed and watched and made sure I slept okay, etc. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and didn't know where I was, but I knew I wasn't in a hotel. And in those days, that was like, oh, God dang, you know, you're like, okay, what happened? You start trying to put it back together. Why am I not in a hotel? Where are we? And then, as I'm doing this, I hear foot stomping, and I'm like, oh, God damn it, somebody's in this room with me now. Where am I, where am I, where am I? And I'm hearing boom, boom, boom. And then pacing in front of me, I'm terrified. And then I hear the voice, never again, boy. Never fucking ever again. And I knew, oh, that's Jerry Jeff's voice. And it all came crashing back to me in waves of shame. And I thought, I'm just gonna act like I'm asleep. And so
Sleep off the
he
shame.
stomped right
Avoid
in front of
the-
my, like
avoid the
right in front of my face.
convo.
I'm on a sofa. He steps right there where my head is and stops and stomps and says, do you hear me, boy? Wake up, do you hear me? Never again. And so I thought, I have to open my eyes. Fuck. So I do it. I open my eyes, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I don't wanna ruin anything for anybody who may eat later, but
Oh, God.
here's what's up. Here's what happened.
What's about to
Jerry
happen?
Jeff, I didn't know this until now, sleeps naked, right? And he woke up mad at me and didn't, you know, take the time to
put
adorn
on-
himself with
right,
any
right.
fabrics, and was standing right in front of me on that end of the sofa when I opened my eyes, and
Oh, God.
in close proximity to my face
Oh, Lord.
was the thing I picture now every time somebody tries to give me cocaine.
Oh, my God. That is...
Might have saved my life.
Yeah. That might be a PTSD working in
I
your
might have
favor.
saved somebody in here's life. Don't do coke, kids. Just picture Jerry Jeff Walker's balls and move on with yourself.
Fair. Very sound advice.
So then, to make a short story long,
I
not
love
long
his sense
ago
of
at
humor.
all, he tells me, he called me up and said, man, I want to go up to Santa Fe. Come with me, you know. He wrote Bojangles. He does whatever he wants, man. It's like, I want to go up there and fuck around. So, okay. So he comes and gets me, and we go up there, not for a show, just wanting to walk around. There's this really cool square in the middle of the town. He wanted to show me where him and some of his friends had hung out over their touring years, and took me to different bars and places he'd played. And then we went to this last bar that he said he'd closed many times in his life. And so we decided to close it. And then the bar owner said, you know, you got to get out. And
He must have thousands of stories. Good God.
when we go out on
I
the
love it.
street, not kidding, it's empty. It's 3 in the morning on like a Tuesday. No one, no cars, no cops, no late night, nothing. No one. Just dead, like a ghost town. And we're walking back to the hotel. And I'm not shitting you. We hear, I usually have to grab this to do this, right? But as we're walking,
I haven't even noticed he
down the
hasn't been
street,
playing in a
in
while.
the distance you hear.
Oh, nice walking bass line there.
I was like, Jerry, you hear that? What is happening? That's Bojangles, right? Yeah. So we start walking around the corner to see where it's coming from. And in the middle of the night, with no chance of anybody hearing him, with his hat open on the ground, is some guy, for all the right reasons, just singing into the universe. And here comes the guy that wrote the song that he's chosen to sing, you know? And so as we come up to him and we're listening to the song, I wonder, should I say something, you know, about this guy that he wrote this? And then I decided it wasn't my place. And so I waited to see if he would. And he said, when it was over, he just threw all his money into this guy's hat. And he said, it's a pretty good song, isn't it? And the guy said, yeah, I like it. And then we just started walking away. And we got about 10 steps away. And I could tell he had been touched by this. And I was too, you know. And we got about 10 feet away. And I said to him, hey, man, that really might have been one of the big highlights of my life, you know. And he said, yeah, that was pretty good. That one was pretty good. So anyway, thank you for indulging that long story. I'd like to play that song for you, if you don't mind.
Mr. Bojangles. Da, 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 da. That bass line is so catchy.
I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. Worn-out shoes, silver-haired, raggy shirt, baggy pants, the old soft shoe. He jumped up so high, Lord, he jumped up high, and then he lightly touched down. Mr. Bojangles, oh, Mr. Bojangles, hit Mr. Bojangles, you come on down. I met a man selling New Orleans when I
think melodically this may be my favorite song so far.
No, he looked to me to be about the eyes of age. Spoke right out. He talked of his life. Lord, he talked of his life. Laughed and slapped his leg and stepped. He said his name, Bojangles, and then he danced a lick across the cell. He grabbed his pants, prepared to stance, and he jumped up high. Picked his ears, he let go laugh, Lord, let go laugh, threw back his clothes all around. Mr. Bojangles, oh, Mr. Bojangles, yeah, Mr. Bojangles, won't you come on down?
I love how like warm and tender his performance is here.
Every chance, a honky tonk, drinks and tips. He says most of the time, though, I spend behind these county bars.
Right. It seems like he's Mr. Bojangles. The idea is that he is a kind of wanderer drifting from place to place, performing maybe on the street or, you know, at the bar, to make his life livable, right? To earn a living. So it kind of, it's like a mix of resilience in what he's doing, but there's also a lot of struggle behind it. This is interesting. I like this song melodically a lot.
He says most of the time, though, I spend behind these county bars.
So this is JJW's.
I drank some beer. He shook his head, and as he shook his head, I heard someone ask him, please, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, would you come on down?
I don't know why that part gives me chills. Da, 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 da.
Said he danced every chance, the honky tonks throughout South.
I like that this bass line, this walking bass line I've been referring to, it descends and it ascends, and you can just infinitely loop it. Do 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 do. up and down you go, just riding this emotional high up and then back down. So we're traveling through, this kind of range of frequencies up and down, and you can do whatever you would like with the melody, like the lead vocal melody over the top of it, because you can match it in parallel. You can also decide to do counter melodies at the same time. You can even just sing neutrally over it. But because there's just so much movement in the bass, all of the other lead guitar part that's being played with Todd singing here, it creates, I think, to me, out of all of what I've heard so far, the fullest arrangement. It happens to also be my favorite melody, so yeah, like triple damage in the best way.
Throughout South, he spoke in tears for 15 years how his dog and him, they had traveled about. The dog up and died, the Lordy up and died. For 20 years he still grieved. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles.
That is really nice.
Mr. Bojangles, come on in there. Thanks for letting me do that one.
Yeah, that was my favorite song of this performance set.
I heard somebody out for this one. Well, that might have been longer than 18 minutes.
Double Wide Blues. Double wide is like a trailer?
Wide
Or a type of trailer?
blue.
So trailer blues, kind of.
I got the blue.
And you hear the bounce in this bass line too?
V-neck t-shirt with a mustard stain, rolling up a hose outside in the rain. He's been my neighbor since 79. Of course he was in prison most of that time. Ever since then, it just ain't been right. Old lady works days and they fight most nights. Laid off and blown off, pissed off and booed. Double wide blues, double wide blue. I got the blue.
I like the singing chops now.
Double wide. Metallica song blasting out from 3 trailers down. Cut off t-shirt and nunchuck kids coming around. Tonight they'll get drunk and they will try to get laid, and they will end up in a fight out behind the arcade. You know, one of them little fuckers broke my window last spring. I told his mom she didn't do anything. Oh, she's working 2 jobs. That kid runs loose. Double wide blues. My buddy Jimmy, his trailer's cool. He's got a big old deck with blue plastic pool. Works in construction, builds spec home. His lady left him though, so now he's down there alone. My friend Anita loves him, he don't know. So busy chasing after my neighbor's wife. Flo, it's like soap opera heaven without all the clues. Double wide blues.
Soap opera heaven without the clues. That's interesting.
Blue. I got the blue. Double wide. Wild Bill manager, he keeps to himself. That war took his smile like imperials took his health. He too old to run around with the Ku Klux Klan anymore. He still got a big old U.S. flag hanging up outside of his door. I sit here watching all this nothing go on. I ain't been outside since the TV come on. I said, double wide blue. I got the blue. I got the blues, double wide.
I feel like we've sort of entered the more musical part of the show now.
I saw a guy on the street today, and I promised him I'd do this. Go like this. You know, this is the beginning. Check it out. Just the other morning.
All right, guy.
Hanging around my house. I had that new book with all those pictures of Madonna naked in it. I was checking it out. Just then a friend of mine came through the door. Said she'd never pegged me for a scumbag before. Said she didn't ever want to see me anymore. And I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just want to live until I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I know I'm dirty and I know that I've smoked a fuck ton of dope in my time. That's how many sharks there was, too. Ain't like I went on TV and tore up a picture of the Pope like Sinead O'Connor did that time. I know I get wild, I know I get drunk. Ain't like I've got a bunch of bodies in my trunk. Old man used to call me a no good punk, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy.
Right.
I think I'm an alright guy.
Wait, this song is so sweet.
I just wanna live until I've gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy.
I resonate with this
I'm
hard.
alright. Just the other night, you know,
like,
these.
It's kind of, I don't know if it's like improper to like kind of how could you say, I feel like we live in a culture right now where it's sort of bad social etiquette to like gas yourself up and consider yourself just like a good person. If I say like I think I'm a good person, I feel like that can come off kind of weird to people. They're like, whoa, you have something to prove. And I guess, you know, there is a little bit of truth to that, because if you are a good person, you don't necessarily need to say it. You just be that good person, do as a good person would, and therefore you are. But I do like the message here, because so often we as individuals hold ourselves to an impossibly perfect standard for all of the ways we could be, you know, a better person than we currently are. And if you set up that, like, I guess, infinitely impossible standard for yourself, you may always think you are not an all right guy. But that's usually not even true. And this is, you know, me just kind of talking from my own experiences. All of the times when I've been exceptionally cruel to myself or didn't give myself enough grace, it's because I didn't think I was an all right guy. I thought I was doing something. I thought I was just a full-on failure in certain regards. And it's because of that false expectation of the self. And from moment to moment, if your perception happens to change for the worse, you don't feel like an all right guy anymore. So I think it's perfectly reasonable in moments like this, just in life in general, to reflect on all of the good things you have achieved and have done for yourself and for others. Even if you're not perfect, you can still appreciate the things that have been, you know, let's say fulfilling to you and about yourself, right? And I feel like doing that process of active reflection allows you to, I think, reaffirm to yourself that these things make me feel good when I act this way. Therefore, I'm going to do things that made me feel good when I was acting like that all right guy. And it reinforces itself, rather than you don't know why you feel good in a certain moment and then you just go back to feeling way worse. Because I think most people in this world, they're just trying to do the best that they can. So we shouldn't beat ourselves up too much. We take accountability where we need to. We make mistakes, we learn from them and move forward rather than chastise ourselves endlessly for inevitable mistakes.
These cops pulled me over outside of a bar. They turned on their light and they said, "Hey, old timer, we're gonna have to ask you to step out of that car." I was only kidding when I called them a couple of dicks. Still, they made me do the stupid human tricks. Now I'm stuck in this jail with a bunch of dumb hicks, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live until I gotta die. No, I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. Think I'm an alright guy. Think I'm alright. Think I'm an alright guy. Think I'm alright.
Yeah.
Think I'm alright.
Yeah. I like that. I like that song.
Thank you all for being so nice to me tonight. I've had a good time, and I hope you have too.
Nice.
Really appreciate it.
Of course, people are going to be nice to you. You're so real.
I'll leave you with this. First one I heard was "Can't Complain."
Oh, he's taking
I'm gonna play "Can't
requests.
Complain," and I'm also gonna play the first song I ever learned to play on the guitar. Little out of place, little out of tune, sort of lost in space, racing that moon, climbing a wall, a hurricane, still overall, I can't complain. All I wanted was one chance, let freedom ring. Said I had to get a permit, a bunch of tags and everything. Never made it through the red tape. Got this paper hat. Got a job working weekdays. You want fries with that? I got nothing to lose.
Put the fries in the bag, bro. That's a...
Like a one-way ticket to cruise.
Don't know when that meme came out.
I can't complain.
That's a pretty melody too.
I was talking with my girlfriend.
I don't think I really commented specifically on Todd's voice besides his accent. I like his singing voice a lot. He just kind of exists in this like baritone range, which to me is very familiar. I'm a baritone in my own vocal range. And because so much of his style is conversational, when he does decide to sing, in certain moments, it almost feels indistinguishable from his speaking because it is still all in that same register using a very similar feel. There's a earthiness to his voice. At the same time, it's very rich and full. He's, as we've been listening to him share his stories, he's one of those people you just want to hear talk because of how lovely their voice is. When they sing, it's even better. And, I also recall, I guess we can relate it to drive-by truckers who we also react to on this channel. One of the members, Mike Cooley, he is just a phenomenal guitarist first and foremost, but the way he speaks, the bassiness in his voice, how powerful it is, he can project it a mile out. It just makes me want to listen to him speak. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about this too, just randomly, maybe a month back at this point. I don't know. I think about a lot of things at very high velocity, so forgive me if my timelines are out of whack. But I was thinking about why I like to watch certain YouTubers because I've been on YouTube for a lot of my life, watching different channels in different niches, gaming, lifestyle, vlogs, music related, anything and everything. I've been there, I've done that. I continue to be there and do that. And some of the people I watch, I don't actually have an intrinsic interest in their category, in their niche. Let's say, just as an example, like crocheting. I'm not inherently interested in crocheting, but there are certain speakers, the way they talk, the way that they share their stories, it is so soothing to me to listen to, because they have wisdom, because they have a bit of love and grace in their voice. I'll just continue to listen to them because, I don't know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel cared for, considered. There's got to be something in there with Todd as well, because that's just how I feel when he sings in these lower registers. It is just so remarkably pleasant. I almost don't even think about the musicality underlying it, even though there's a lot of good stuff here to focus on there as well. Yap, yap, yap.
Dressed, said I'm going off the deep end. She said, God, for once, give it a rest. We're all waiting in the dugout, thinking we should pitch. How you gonna throw a shutout if all you do is bitch? I got nothing to lose, there's nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to prove in a class A lane. I can't complain. Now I've got a brand new dance. Need one more shot. Just I need one last chance. You know I won't get caught. Gonna make my last stand. This time I can't be bought. Then again, on the other hand, how much have you got? Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. You're like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. Can't complain. Little out of place, out of tune, lost in space, racing the moon, climbing a wall, a hurricane, still overall. I can't complain, still overall. I can't complain.
Just good vibes from Todd.
Where's a black man with black hair, living in black.
That was a quick transition.
Stay running through the front yard, you know the things he's got is so good. And there's a woman in the kitchen.
I hope you guys are enjoying yourself.
Fixing the evening stopping.
Leave a like on the video,
She looks
please.
at me and she says, hey darling, I can remember when you could stop a clock. Ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America something to see, baby? Ain't that America? You're my free.
Yeah. And when he gets up here, I like this part of his range because he kind of breaks a little bit up there. It gets a little thin, a little raspier.
Well, there's people and more people. Wouldn't do they? No.
Because it almost is like he's strained, but actually, when I hear him sing, it feels more free. If I were to try to sing in those ranges, I would feel a little bit more vocally strained because I still have a lot of unlearning to do with some bad vocal hygiene, vocal techniques. Because you have to maintain a proper posture to be able to access those higher registers, especially as a baritone male vocalist, because pushing those upper extremities, you now have to have such control of your diaphragm. You need to be fully locked in with your posture too, so that when you do ascend, it doesn't just fully break and, feel like a child going through puberty. He maintains it up there, even though it sounds strained. I think that's just the timbre of his voice. It's sort of one of the unique elements that just makes Todd Todd.
They go to work in summer, I rise, and they vacation on the Gulf of Mexico. yeah. And there's winner, and there's loser. But they ain't no big deal, 'cause it's a simple man, baby, pays the bill for the bill and the thrill it can. Ain't that America, you and me? Ain't that America, something to see, baby? Ain't that America, a home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. I hope they build them for you and me. What's the last verse? Somebody tell me. Huh?
Phone a friend. Ask the audience. Which one is this? I think it's Ask the
No, I
Audience.
think we got it. Ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America, something to see, baby? Little pink house there for you and me. This land is our land. This land, my land. From California
To the New York.
to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
You and me.
As I went walking on down that highway, I seen you love me, that endless skyway. I seen below me a crooked valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking on down the road there, I seen a sign there that said no trespassing. But the other side of that sign didn't say nothing.
Right.
That sign was made for you and me.
Right.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Y'all, thank you for being so kind to me today. Now. This land was made for you and me. Thank y'all.
Wow. That was awesome. I love how just real he is, you know what I mean? Authentic performance, just the man and his guitar. I guess the banjo would have been in his first set, because he was pretty much using just one guitar the majority of the time. Got the flowers. It looks like there may be a little bit more here. We'll see. What is that? That's like a hollowed out orange slice. Visually. Blue up top, green below. I love, he's just so himself. He embraces that style, casual playing, finger style, folk-driven, storytelling, dominant. And then when he sings, it's just pleasant. It's so warming. Stomp and holler. All right, so it looks like he's gonna do the encore with the banjo. As soon as I say something.
How hard could this thing be? Yeah. So we'll keep it up.
Stomp and holler. So I didn't know he would have other people with him. I presumed it was just him the whole time.
Something like that. Well, little Johnny Walker caught a bullet last night, running from the guitar store. Took a left down the alley, guess he should have gone right. Now he ain't taking nothing no more, no more. Everybody knows it's a hard time, living with the hate and the greed.
Very like Americana, folk rock kind of.
What they get for living, others gon' steal what they need. Down on the corner, already talking, how you gon' cut that tape? I'm out here in the filth and squalor. All I wanna do is stomp and holler.
And he's got the slide on the acoustic here on his left. I love the layering of banjo and acoustic. It's such a unique flavoring.
18 years, 18
Especially
years,
for me.
that's a long old time to be.
I never listened to much banjo as a kid.
Sitting face down, stone in the alley. Wonder how you get to that shining sea. Everybody knows it's a hard time, living on minimum wage. Some people just gon' sneak on through, others gon' rattle that cage. What the hell, I guess I might as well take a chance and try my way. Oh, baby. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Listen to the people scream. Every time I get a little bit lucky, I got to wake up from a poor man's dream. Heaven only knows how you get there. After all the struggle and the strife, from all I've seen, you only get one shot. What you gonna do in this life? Oh, what the hell, I guess I might as well take a chance and find my way. Yeah. I'm like James Brown, only white and taller. All I wanna do is stomp and holler.
He said James Brown, but I thought he was mentioning Jackson Brown. We just did a recent reaction to Jackson Brown.
Jamming.
I appreciate the jams. The jams are some of the best parts of lives.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
It's later than you.
There's a Fish song called You Enjoy Yourself.
Enjoy
Or, You Enjoy Myself.
yourself while you're still in the pain. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. You work and work all day long, always on the go. You never gonna take a minute off. You're too busy making dough. Someday for sure you're gonna see the world when you're a millionaire. How far you gonna travel, boy? It's some old rocking chair. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the game. The years go by as quickly as they wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy
bounce throughout.
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pain. But years go by as quickly as it wanes. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. You worry when the weather's cold. You worry when it's hot. You worry when you're doing well. You worry when you're not. It's worry all the time. You don't know how to laugh. We're gonna think up something funny when we write your epitaph. Last chance to sing about. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in
This
the
warms
pain.
my heart so much.
Years go by, baby,
Oh, let it break.
quickly as it went.
Let it break, brother.
Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. One time. Thank you all very much. We'll see you down at the Chicago Farmer Show.
That seems to be it. Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Todd Snider. What a fun guy. So down to earth. Love his stories. Loved his performance overall. I mean, this is the kind of music that just feels so homey. You could perform it pretty much anywhere. I could imagine you could do this in like a Madison Square Garden venue with everybody just fixated on the storytelling, on the realness. Again, it warms my heart. I can imagine it warms everybody else's heart because he's just such a real dude with a very pleasant to listen to baritone voice. Oh, God, I really love discovering artists like this who kind of set me at ease, because we listen to so much music on this channel, and oftentimes a lot of it can be very high octane or fast moving, and there's a time and a place for that, but I love a large variety just at my fingertips basically. And Todd Snider, he's an artist that provides that relaxed storytelling vibe that not many modern artists lean into. I mean, they will for maybe one show here or there, or like an acoustic kind of thrown in the middle. Like, I was referencing Dave Matthews Band earlier. They kind of do that style as well, where they intermittently will play something a lot more stripped down, just tell the story. But they're also a big band who go crazy, so then they have a different wrinkle to them. Todd as one individual, and then at the end with the other guitarist, he is just all about putting himself out there. And if you like him, then great. And if you don't, I guess the only reason why you're attending the show is for the beer and the fact that there's no other bars in a nearby vicinity. Definitely gives me troubadour vibes. He feels like the kind of musical nomad that so many other musicians romanticize themselves to be, which kind of feels very fitting given what he told us about his kind of admiration of JJW and wanting to follow in his footsteps, meet him a bunch of times, become his friend, and then almost, become that kind of person himself. Maybe not exactly all of the stories that JJW, that he had with JJW relate to him and how he would conduct himself, but, he is still on that pathway as a musician, putting himself out there every single night that he performs. It makes us all feel good to experience that. At least that's how it is for me. Let me know what you thought about this performance specifically, or Todd Snider in general, in the comments below, or just be nice, drop a helpful comment for the algorithm. I'd greatly appreciate that. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request one yourself, please hit the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.